The Champions League draw happened yesterday. Francis Maxwell, speaking in third person for 5 seconds, so bear with me, posted a video which he laughed and then cried because Celtic once again drawn alongside Barcelona with Manchester City and Borussia Mönchengladbach along there. So with the draw happening, a lot of mouthwatering games to process, a lot to look forward to when it comes to the Europe's most elite competition. And we wanted to just jump ahead of all those games, not even think about them in the moment, and just go straight into the deep end with no sense of understanding of what may happen. No really know-how of what's going on.
It's not how you're supposed to learn how to swim, but we're going to throw you into the deep end.
Throw you in the deep end. We're just going to basically go to it. Jason, who's going to win the Champions League?
I actually have a adamant and clear-cut winner. You go out to your sports books, you put the money down. It's Bayern. It's Bayern Munich this year.
You say it so convincingly, and then you laugh a little bit because I'm just.
I say it because for one, Bayern is always a heavily favored team, but they're not as heavily favored as that of a Barcelona or Real Madrid. And the reason I'm counting out Real Madrid, and not that they can't do it, is that no one's gone back to back, and you see the struggles and what it takes to do that, and it has not happened in Champions League play. It has happened in European Championship play. What's the name of it before it was the Champions League?
The European Cup.
The European Cup, sorry.
In which Celtic won it in 1967.
Right. So Celtic, for example, they did not win in 1968. They did not go back to back. So Bayern Munich's going to win, and I have a few reasons as to why. For one, their group this year poses them more of a test than the past 2 years combined. Let's take a. I don't actually have it in front of me. Actually, no, we do. We have the group pots. Bayern is placed with Atletico. It's also the first time they've been placed with a Spanish team in the last 2 years.
Yep.
And I think if you're placed in a group with an Atletico, or Real Madrid, or a Barcelona, it automatically adds more of a battle-tested team.
The team that put them out last year.
Absolutely, the team that put them out last year. And I'm not going to cut out PSV. I'm not going to cut PSV short. That's another team that is Champions League group stage tested.
Yes.
So they've been around these big behemoths of teams, these Bayerns, these Barcelonas, these PSGs. In the last few years, and they hold their own against those teams. So for one, Bayern's going to be more tested in the group stage. I think that's important. And two, if you look at their group stages from the last few years, their goal differential is through the roof. But last year, Bayern had Arsenal, Olympiacos, and Dynamo Zagreb. The second best team in that group was Olympiacos. They played better than Arsenal did. And 2 years ago, they had Roma, CSKA Moscow, and Manchester City. And we know that until Pep Guardiola took over Manchester City this year, the English teams in the Champions League the past 2 years, lackluster, right? Battle-tested teams early, I think, will end up doing better. I think that Bayern over the past few years, unfortunately, fortunately, ran into some easier matchups in the round of 16 quarterfinals, and then they hit a semifinal team like a Barcelona, and they hit teams like Juventus last year, who was fantastic, and they made a great run to beat them in the quarterfinals. Mm-hmm. But this year, I have this feeling that even without Pep Guardiola, because people seem to forget that Bayern won the treble before Guardiola showed up, and they still have Arturo Vidal, who's got another full year in his pocket with Bayern Munich. I think he's going to be a superstar in the midfield this year. And let's not count out Lewandowski, Mueller, and Ribery up top. So everyone stays healthy. It's a big if. Bayern Munich can go on and take it. I think it's the year for the Germans.
You've given me a great, well-rounded argument, which is very well put and can easily happen. But you missed the gravy. You missed the gravy that's right there. It's asking. It's Jason, taste me.
What is the gravy?
Taste Carlo Ancelotti.
Oh, of
the
course.
infamous Champions League winner.
I was alluding to it in a way by like they've won the treble without
Pep Guardiola.
Pep Guardiola, which I was kind of alluding to the fact that I don't think they need Pep. I think he was the biggest personality on that team, and that could have been part of the problem, is that he was the headlining star in terms of how much he was vibrant on the sideline. Ancelotti is first of all, in terms of the actual play of Bayern Munich, he's not going to be as, I think, obsessed with ball possession.
No.
And look, even in their first game or one of their warm-up matches, they didn't even have more possession than their opponent. I'm blanking on the team that they played, yet they're still coming away with goals. That's a team on paper that absolutely can win the Champions League, but it's the Champions League. Bump, 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 bump. Things happen.
It's Carlo Ancelotti, the reason why won the Champions League with Real Madrid, up against adversity against Atletico Madrid, last-minute goal, bringing it back. They beat a team that, on paper, a lot of people thought had the potential to beat them and the necessary tools. Ancelotti knows how to win the Champions League, so undoubtedly it's a good chance. He won it with AC Milan, he won it as a player. He knows what it takes, and plus, it kind of plays into the reverse of a Pep Guardiola with Bayern Munich, who won domestic titles and couldn't win the Champions League. Ancelotti notoriously struggles domestically, but wins European trophies. So it is a good bet for them. The reason I'm going to disagree and simply state that it's going to be Barcelona is because people want these outlandish suggestions, right? Why? Look at the last 3 years. Do I need to give you any more of an outlandish suggestion other than a Spanish team? Because Barcelona won it. Real Madrid won it, right? So Real Madrid won it last year. Barcelona won it the year before. Real Madrid won it the year before that. Who's been in the Champions League final alongside them? Atletico Madrid. Again, these are just Spanish teams. They know what it takes to get to the Champions League final.
Excuse me. Forza Juve.
Yeah, Juve, yeah. And amongst that example, they managed to beat Real Madrid in order to get it to the Champions League final. I'm not stating that Juve couldn't make it, Bayern Munich couldn't make it. I'm not even saying that Manchester City couldn't make it.
Maybe the more interesting question isn't who will win the Champions League, but what team not named Barcelona, Bayern, Real Madrid, is going to show up in the finals.
Borussia Dortmund, I think, are my dark horse team to get to the semi-finals.
Another Bayern Borussia final?
No. I just think Barcelona have got the necessary tools. They've got the fire in their belly. I'm not saying that they're going to go on and win it easily. But Borussia Dortmund this year, the reason why is they've added necessary pieces to strengthen their already exciting front line. And pending they get out of the group stage, it's not going to be an easy group stage. It's going to be some very tough games. I know they have to play Real Madrid.
Card again?
We go back to Real Madrid's group really quick, so I can reference this.
I want to see both, because there's another team in the Borussia group.
So Real Madrid, Sporting Lisbon, and Legia Warsaw, they should qualify second. There is no excuse for that. They should go through in that group.
First.
It could qualify first. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a reenactment of a few years back where they played against Real Madrid and were able to dismantle them in their route to the final. That's when they had Robert Lewandowski up top. But adding Mario Götze, adding Andreas Schürrle, these are players that know how to play in amidst a German system. They know how to play to a team that's been building towards success. I don't think they can win it. I think that they're going to put together a better run than what they have done. And I think that they've added pieces that can help overshadow the loss of a Mads Hummels. And Mads Hummels is a loss. He's your skipper. He is composed at the back. Losing Mkhitaryan was a worse loss because he, with 14 assists in the Bundesliga, consecutive assists in European football, he adds to that team. Marco Reus on one side and Mkhitaryan on the other was horrible to defend against. But I think they've done a good job. They've done a good job of replacing him. Andreas Schürrle will come up clutch. Count my words right up. Why can't I talk? Andreas Schürrle will come in as a vital piece to this puzzle, and I think that with a good run of results, with a comfortable progression and a good tie, they could maybe make it to the quarters or the semis and push them. But as far as the final goes, I would expect the usual suspects. They've strengthened too well this year. Bayern Munich have strengthened very well. Count on them to potentially make it to the semis or the finals. Barcelona strengthened well. Real Madrid always going to be there or thereabouts. They've won it 2 times out of the last 3 years. You cannot bet against that. So while you may be sitting there on your computers waiting for me to throw out a Leicester City, I'm not going to do it. No. Not this year.
Well, I do think Leicester has a very, very opportune chance to get to the round of 16.
Absolutely.
Would love to see him go farther and shock the world once again. I think that Leicester coming up against competition, eventually, if they get to those stages of these higher, even the Borussia Dortmunds of the world, and these Atleticos and Bayerns and Real Madrids and Barcelonas, of course. But you make, I think, the best point here is that people want some outlandish predictions. Well, if you're a betting man, sure. If you want better odds, you're going to have to bet on a team like Borussia Dortmund or Atletico Madrid again. But if you're using your head here, it's insane to think that anybody outside of Barcelona has the best chance. I'm not saying they're going to go out and win it, but look what's happening between Messi, Suarez, without even Neymar on the pitch.
Yeah,
it's only going to create more havoc for them. And it's just, there is no way to defend that type of attack. And this is a team that will be back in the semifinals, barring any sort of major fall from grace in the quarters or round of 16. They're going to run away with their group. They're going to bang in goals left and right.
And if Carlo can't handle them, Jason, then who can handle them?
Any $5 bet on Celtic this year, Francis?
I will take a outlandish, maybe $5 bet for Celtic to make it to the round of 16.
All right, round of 16.
The Europa League is undoubtedly Celtic's expectation.
Come on, the boys in green.
Come on, the boys in green. COYB. That it. COYBG. Jesus Christ.
They can comment.
Far too long for that. Yeah, they can comment. Who is your outlandish bet? Porto deserve a good mention because they dismantled Roma. Francesco Totti still licking his wounds.
I'll be careful what I say about teams like Benfica this year too. Jason, Benfica's good.
Where are they going this year?
I don't know.
Benfica managed to make it into the group, which, alongside Tottenham, Leicester's group, is one of the easier groups, should I say.
Oh, because they beat Zenit St. Petersburg last year, and then they actually held their own against Bayern last year. They actually drew them in the second match.
Yes.
3-2 on aggregate was the
and
loss.
the audience
still.
let you know.
Oh, they did.
They did. So,
they did.
hit us in the comments. Are you with Jason? Do you go with Bayern Munich? Or are you over here on the good side?
No.
Barcelona. Or is it Real Madrid?
UEFA-lona.
Who knows? UEFA-lona, as people call it. Let us know. Twitter, Francis_Maxwell, Jason Rubin 91. On Instagram, it's National Dog Day. Go and take a look. Some pictures with some dogs. Jason's got one of his dog. I've got one of Luna, who's in the corner, put her to sleep. Francis Maxwell, host on Instagram, and Jason Rubin 91. We deserve a follow. We deserve a like. We deserve a selfie. Hit Jason in his private. Don't hit it on me.
No.